Oh, hi, it's your old buddy Zoo, and I gotta tell you something. When I was a kid, I was kind of a jack at the store. I would get into everything. I'd crawl into the six ways, I'd get lost, I'd pester my mom, the works. So eventually, since it was the late 80s into the early 90s, I was just banished to the car. But don't worry, because I had my trusty Game Boy DMG in hand with 4 AA batteries, and more often than not, I had Final Fantasy Adventure loaded in the back here. That game got me through hours of parking lot purgatory. Clunky menus, the combat that was most decidedly not Final Fantasy-esque, and even a surprisingly emotional story. I was hooked. So when I found out someone spent 4 years making a quasi-sequel in that same Final Fantasy Adventure engine, yeah, I dropped everything. This is Embers of Mana. And folks, it's not a palette swap, it's not a couple of rooms added to an old ROM. It's an honest-to-God brand new Mana game in the year of our Lord, 2026. So let's check it out. So Embers of Mana here is a total conversion ROM hack of Final Fantasy Adventure, which was known as Seiken Densetsu in Japan. And it's built by a creator who goes by the name of OK Impala. This is the same person behind Zelda II, Amida's Curse, and Super Mario Kart Epic Racers. So it's not their first rodeo, but they have been working on this hack since early 2022, and it just dropped. You play as a young girl searching for her missing family, and surprise, surprise, you get wrapped up in a much bigger plot involving the mana tree withering, and of course, darkness threatening to consume the entire world. Classic mana stuff, and I mean it as a compliment. It feels like 1991 in the best possible way. So how does it play? Well, it runs on the original Final Fantasy Adventure engine, so that means if you've played the original, you already know how this feels in your hands. The weight of the sword swing, the way you move through screens, the combat rhythm, it's all there. My preteen muscle memory kicked in after the first few screens, and I was off to the races. But OK Impala didn't just build new maps and call it a day. They've made real quality of life improvements. The big one? The key system has been completely overhauled. If you played the original, you know the pain. You buy keys, you run out of said keys, and then you accidentally soft-locked yourself because you used the key on the wrong door. And who among us doesn't love the need to keep one of those little Mead spiral notebooks next to them with a pen so they can keep track of what keys they use and what keys they might need going forward? I may be speaking from experience. But in Embers of Mana here, doors stay permanently open once you use a key, and the number of keys you find in a dungeon matches the number of locked doors. No more soft locks. No more angry resets that make other people in the parking lot think you're having some sort of fit. That alone is worth celebrating. They've also squashed the original code bugs that plagued Final Fantasy Adventure, so you're getting a cleaner, more polished experience running on the same hardware, which that's pretty cool. I know we have much more capable machines now than they did in the early 90s, but this is one person fixing the work of an entire Nintendo dev team. Super cool. Now here's where this gets really interesting for us, the retro handhelds crowd, because this is a patch for an OG Game Boy ROM. That means this thing runs on basically anything you own. Miu Mini? Check. RG35XX? Absolutely. That R36S you got collecting dust? Fire it up. Heck, you can throw it on an analog pocket or a real Game Boy if you got one. I decided to play this on my 40XXV just because I love this thing so much, but anything will play this game. And honestly, this is the kind of game that shines on a small screen. The pixel art is meant to be viewed on a tight little display. And the gameplay loop, where you explore, you fight, you find keys, and push through a dungeon, it's perfect for handheld sessions. Oh yeah, and as part of the effort to avoid soft locking, in-game save points are plentiful, so it's perfect for pick up and play. The Game Boy Color DX version is reportedly in the works too, but the creator says that'll take time. For now, I'm rocking that classic 3H green, and that's good enough for me. This is a perfect sit on the couch for 20 minutes before bed kind of game. It's a perfect waiting in the car for your mom kind of game. Trust me on that one. It's just, all in all, a really, really good game. And look, if you grew up with Final Fantasy Adventure, this is a no-brainer. It's essentially the sequel we never got in the original Game Boy style. The Mana series went in a lot of directions after the first game. You had Secret of Mana, Sword of Mana, Adventures of Mana, Trials of Mana, but nobody ever went back and said, what if we just made another one of these, but on the Game Boy hardware with the Game Boy engine? Until now. But even if you never played the original, if you like top-down action RPGs, if you like exploring dungeons on a handheld, if you appreciate when someone pours 4 years of their life into a passion project, maybe give it a shot. And the download even comes with dungeon maps and world maps, which is a nice touch for people who don't want to wander aimlessly. And now it's time for a real quick, what did we learn? And we learned that the ROM hack scene doesn't always get the love it deserves. People pour thousands of hours into these projects, they release them for free, and most of the gaming world never hears about them. Embers of Mana is one of these projects that really deserves your attention. It is a complete new game built with genuine love for the source material, running on a game engine from 1991? If 8-year-old me sitting in that parking lot with a warm Game Boy and fading batteries could have known that someone would make a brand new Mana game for this thing in 2026, I don't think he would have believed it, but I tell you what, he would have been really, really happy about it. That's all I got for you today. This is kind of a quick bonus video, but if you are going to play this, let me know in the comments what device you're running it on. Anyway, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. You know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.